Welcome to this Power of Business channel. Today we have video about 10 millionaire. 10 billionaires who live like poor people. There are people who are swimming in money, and yet they drive cheap manual transmission cars, they dress in cheap clothes, and eat in fast food restaurants or their company cafeteria. Some of the richest men and women on the planet, they are incredibly frugal as they hate luxuries and prefer to allocate their wealth to quality. These are people who give up comfortable residential mansions, vacation homes, yachts, luxury cars, expensive brand name clothes. Restaurants that billionaires think live poorly or at least well below their level of wealth. How they do to stay away from the various temptations to spend money that lurk at every moment. We are going to present you our list of 10 millionaires who live like poor people. Before we get into the depths, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications to keep you up to date with our updates. Music. Number 1. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is considered by many to be the symbol of the successful investor, the man who has turned into an art of buying at a low price and selling at a profit. Although his current wealth is $87 billion, also in his living expenses, he likes to buy at the lowest price possible. When it comes to everyday expenses, there seems to be a buffer. He has to hit his elbow with a hammer to make him loosen his hand and let go a little more. He has lived for more than 60 years in Omaha, Nebraska, in a modest house that he bought for $31,500. He travels in a 2014 Cadillac X7, and when I visit Buffett, it wouldn't occur to him send a limo himself to pick him up at the airport. Warren Buffett uses an old flip phone without WhatsApp. His good friend Bill Gates must make a discreet face when Buffett takes out his phone. The 7th richest man in the world is also very economical on food. He never spends more than $3.5 for breakfast and dinner at a simple steakhouse where the most expensive dish costs $41. He pays $18 for a haircut and to snack on pasta perfectly with fries and chiquitos. He gets a little wasteful with the drinks and he consumes 5 Coca-Colas a day. His appreciation for junk food has extended to business, since part of his fortune is due to his investments in Burger King, Coca-Cola, and Dairy Queen in the same firm. He said, "I have never had a great desire to have all kinds of things and several cars." In 2014, during a part of the annual meeting of shareholders of his company Berkshire Hathaway, this billionaire pointed out, "My life could not be happier. In fact, it would be worse if I had 6 or 8 houses. I have everything I need and I don't need more because it makes no difference after a point." Number 2. Mark Zuckerberg. If Mark Zuckerberg decided to spend his entire fortune on clothes, it would be enough for more than $1 billion. Changes. When you see the founder of Facebook dressed in jeans, t-shirt and hoodie, it wasn't that the photographer surprised them on a walk down the street. That's her outfit. The creator of the popular social network is the youngest in the billionaire club with a net worth of $100 billion. Zuckerberg turned 36 on May 14, 2020. His fortune is also enough for be the 5th richest person on the planet when Zuckerberg decided to marry the pediatrician of Chinese descent Briseal HN in 2012. The couple's closest friends knew that they would not have the privilege of attending a lavish wedding. What some did not imagine was that Priscilla and Mark would go to eat a McDonald's after the ceremony. The wealthy couple has been seen looking to save a few dollars in costs by making bulk purchases. Mark Zuckerberg's disinterest in luxurious and expensive things also extends to cars. He enjoys driving his manual transmission Volkswagen, and his cars have always been mid-range or low-end. As a priest and with a 30-something who could have the big Ferrari if he doesn't have any, despite his status as one of the richest technology moguls in the world, Zuckerberg prefers lead a discreet lifestyle. To his wife and 2 children, his house in Palo Alto, California, with $7 million, almost pocket change compared to his wealth. This billionaire, born in White Plains, New York, is clear that frugality clears the mind to focus on what is important. He said, "I really want simple." His colossal fortune has continued to be a problem for Amancio Ortega. The unusual wealth puts the protagonists on the radar of the media, and Ortega is a discreet person, jealous of his privacy and with an aversion to the media spotlight. In 2001, he created the foundation that carries his name for the fight against cancer. The organization has been a vital help to Spain since the global health crisis occurred in 2020. Ortega made the logistics network of the Inditex company available to the Spanish government to transform medical supplies and has made important donations. Articles. Health workers on March 28, 2020. This low-profile man, son of a railway worker and a housewife, turned 84. Many Spaniards sang happy birthday to him from a distance to thank him for his generosity during Planetary Health Emergency No. 4. Jim Pattison, the Canadian Jeff petition tells him in Canada's Warren Buffett both for his wealth and for his frugal lifestyle aspects that relate him to him. American View. Pattison was born in 1928 and the following year the Great Depression occurred. Who filled the years of his childhood as a teenager and young adult with poverty. He did countless jobs and was a harvester, a donut seller at school, and a newspaper delivery man. He also worked as a construction worker, as a door-to-door seat seller, and as a waiter. Of a dining car was washing cars at a used car sale when a customer arrived and the manager was not there. Pattison became an instant salesman and sold a car, an event that would change his life. He is currently the sole owner of the Jim Pattison Group, a conglomerate. Industrialist with 45,000 employees and annual sales of more than $19 billion. This nonagenarian has a fortune close to $6,000 million and enjoys some luxuries, although he never forgets his origin, what it cost him to earn his first cents for it until recently. Little, he continued driving his Dodge truck, and his lifestyle is simple in many ways. About the hard years of the beginning of the I lived on the rough west side of Vancouver. Most of the time I didn't have money to buy anything that was good, so I had to make do with things that no one wanted. Number 5. Forever. Having a fortune of more than $6.5 billion and paying attention to toilet paper expenses seems like the last straw. But this billionaire from India is now every blonde who can and prizes his fortune with White Pro Technologies, and the so-called Bill Gates of India was producing vegetable oil in a family heritage company when IBM was expelled from its country in the 1980s. Then it left oil for technology. It quickly changed its jacket and managed to fill the gap left by the American technology giant. Toilet paper is not the only issue with whom he always stands up and reminds his employees every moment to turn off the office lights when leaving and not to waste their money. The Indian tycoon is called the basic billionaire for his frugality, and there are those who say that at his side the toughest cheapskates in history. They look like Santa Claus. Premji drives second-hand cars. He flies in economy class, and when it suits him, he uses rickshaws, the two-wheeled, human-powered vehicles that are popular in India and other Asian nations, but therefore he does not save for the pleasure of hoarding. The first Indian to join the Giving Pledge, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett's initiative to encourage rich people to donate most of their wealth to philanthropic causes in 2019. Ford included the award in his list of heroes of philanthropy in the Asia and Pacific region. Number 6. Richard Branson. British millionaire Richard Branson, founder of Virgin, says that it is all very well to enjoy a copious Christmas meal, but that this should not be an excuse for forgetting a moderate and healthy. Branson is a frugal man because he always wants to be in excellent physical and mental shape to undertake the risky adventures that he is so fond of, whether it is crossing the Atlantic in a high-speed boat, flying over the Pacific in a balloon, or crossing the Channel. He built an amphibious vehicle in record time, although he has had to moderate his impulses with adventures because he has already entered the club of septuagenarians in general. Richard Branson is a man of low-cost habits. Among his main priorities are tennis and swimming, and the kid are entertainment, in which they have to spend very little of their immense fortune of $4 billion. No matter where in the world they are, they always find a way to add health and well-being to their life at a very low cost. Branson became rich with Virgin Grow, varied conglomerate of products and services that include airlines, gyms, musical production, telecommunications, balloon operation, and publishing of books and comics, among others. The empire began with the record company Virgin Records. Branson comes from a middle-class family that instilled in him habits of sobriety. In 2002, he stated the idea of having a position that is there as a pure luxury and that is not actually paying the bills for him is something that would embarrass me. Number 7. Charlie Ergen. The billionaire Charlie Ergen is a man of healthy habits which always helps to maintain them. Expenses under control. He is an enthusiastic hiker and climber who has climbed Kilimanjaro, Aconcagua and Everest. He has also climbed all the mountains over 3,500 meters in the state of Colorado, which are several dozen each year. Ergen participates with his employees in hiking excursions. He became rich with Dish Network Corporation, the main provider of pay television in the United States. This company has Dish Mexico, a satellite television provider in the Mexican Republic for its operations. Ergen has EchoStar, a company that manages a fleet of satellites. Hergé's mother told him how hard the years of the Great Depression were, and the boy learned his lesson. Now he carefully protects his immense fortune, estimated by Forbes at $7.9 billion at the beginning of 2021. Every business day before go to the office, Charlie Ergen packs his lunch consisting of a sandwich and a Gatorade. Until recently, he shared hotel rooms with his colleagues on business trips. Number 8. Carlos Slim. Carlos, this month, the undisputed leader of wealth in Mexico with a fortune of almost $60 billion. However, it is a man with a very moderate lifestyle, personally only allocates significant amounts of money to the purchase of works of art, but even this passion can be a profitable investment through the revaluation of the works. The Mexican billionaire, who turned 80 in 2020, is the main mobile phone provider in Latin America and has shares in several companies, including the New York Times. Slim leads a surprisingly frugal lifestyle for his level of wealth. He lives in the same house for more than 40 years and does not even own a plane or yacht. House has 6 rooms. Plenty of space for this M, who was widowed in 1999 but very modest compared to the residences of many other less wealthy people. Slim is the son of Lebanese immigrants. His father worked hard as a retailer and taught him the benefits of thrift and frugality. Slim is also an owner of Sears Mexico and the Aquarium Drive. This aquarium is the largest in Latin America and one of the modern tourist attractions in Mexico City, where the businessman was born in 1940. His wife Samaya Domet died in 1999, and Slim honored her memory with the Samaya Museum, a free access venue that exhibits one of the largest and most important art collections in Mexico. Art is the great passion of Carlos Slim. Number 9. Jews said that currently the founder of Epic Systems has a wealth of $5 billion, and he claims that he has never had any interest in living luxuriously. Epic Systems is the largest provider of medical record software in the US and was founded by Faulkner in 1979 in the basement of a house in Madison, the state capital of Wisconsin. Judy Foster created the company with the initial name of Human Services Computer because after obtaining his master's degree in computer science, the capital to start was $70,000 collected from friends and family. Epic Systems has been a private company since its foundation, and its shareholders do not plan to open their capital to the public. The company has 9,000 and provides computer support to the medical records of more than 250 million people. Among its clients are the Mayo Clinic and the Johns Hopkins Hospital. Despite the millions earned as the main shareholder and executive director of Epic Systems, winner No is. She is a woman of luxury and prefers to allocate her fortune to quality. In the last 15 years, she has changed cars only once. She has been living with her family in the same Madison neighborhood for 30 years. In 2015, she joined the Promise of Giving by donating most of it. On this occasion, she wrote, "I never had any personal desire to be a millionaire and live in abundance. I prefer to use money so that others have access to food, shelter, medical care, and education." Number 10. Jay Leno. Jay Leno is not a millionaire but $400 million in net worth. It is quite a lot of money. The popular American comedian and television presenter only spends on cars, and the rest is very thrifty. When he was not yet a well-known character who did not work at McDonald's automobile stage, he adopted the habit of living on the income of an occupation. Saving the income from the rest was how he supported himself with the money earned at the car dealership, while he saved and reinvested his income as a comedian. His philosophy of surviving with the lowest paying job worked for him even when his income from television grew considerably. He continued to live from his side jobs in comedy. He always kept the highest salary. The income as a television presenter went to the bank and eventually to a car from his immense collection of classic and antique cars when he hosted Tonight Show. The Successor of Johnny Carson and predecessor of Jimmy Fallon, saved an estimated $30 million a year and spent the money winning on his comedy tours. Another habit of Jay Leno is not using credit cards because of his conviction that they are the easiest way to unnecessary expenses. He would not even buy a property with a mortgage loan. He buys when he has raised the entire money. In the television series Jay Leno's Garage, when he gets into a car that is going at a high speed, he usually says he is going to kill me. Must it be that his wife also gives him a bad look if you exceed expenses? Studies show that frugality is one of the key characteristics of wealth. People who commit to saving, spending little, sticking to a budget and investing wisely are more likely to succeed. Moderation and sobriety in spending do not guarantee that you will do millionaire, but they are at the starting point of many rich people, as demonstrated by this list of billionaires. If you are looking for more information on how to start entrepreneurship, you are passionate about business and digital strategies, you feel that this is for you, but you don't know what is the first thing to do you should do, because we know how important it is for you. We have a completely free class on how to start undertaking. The free class is available in createandtransform.com /class. The link is in the first comment in the cards at the end of this video. Do you have any questions or suggestions? It's yours. Input. Writing in the comments, and so we all help each other. We hope that this video has been useful to you. If you have something to add, please share it with us in the like section. Like this video and send the link to your family and your best friends so they can also see who they are. The 10 millionaires who live like poor people. If you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe. Remember, life is always better the end of the video and giving value to the world. See you in the next video in Power of Business. Don't forget to leave me in the comments what you think and what you think about this video. Greetings.